I've lived on one of the largest hills in Erie, Pennsylvania almost my entire life, and the recurring problem I have coming up this hill at night time is that whenever I reach the crux of the hill, I'm almost automatically blinded by someone's high beams. And I'm sure many of you in the audience have had the same problem, and we ask ourselves, what is the solution to this problem? Where can we find one? Well, the Pennsylvania Department of Motor Vehicles cites that they have a solution, and it's to simply flash your high beams a couple times and then look towards the right side of the road. Yeah, that sounds foolproof. Besides, I'm going to be blinding now the guy that's blinding me, and on top of that, I take my eyes off the road and I don't know where I'm going. Not very, very foolproof after all. Hi, I'm Kevin Bogniak, and in my e-design class last semester, I had the ability to go to the BJC and present my findings on headlight research. That me and my team compiled research over headlights and their effectiveness throughout the entire semester. In today's automobile industry, drivers are extremely hindered by inefficiently lit roads and headlight blinding. Today I'll be taking you through the evolution of the headlight and how it has impacted today's automobile industry. First, we'll start with the basics. In terms of direction and area, all automobile headlights project essentially the same. There are two sets of headlights that we normally know: low beams and high beams. Low beams project as far as 76 yards in the right-hand lane, whereas high beams project a more uniform pattern, as you can see right there, and go as far as 164 yards. Also important to note is the fact that the headlight is attached to the car, so as the car moves, say over a bump, the headlight will move as well. Now knowing some of these basics, we'll move on to some actual deficiencies within the lighting itself. Current designs fail to illuminate changes in road pattern as well as outstanding obstacles. Drivers have a difficult time changing with changes in degrees of turn as well as high elevation. The Insurance Journal, a well-reputed journal subscribed to by many lawyers nationwide, cites that deer accidents are very common among the U.S. As you can see, even more prevalent is that the car's headlights are pointing this way, so they cannot account for what might be in that path. What happens to be there could be a deer. With this information in mind, we should know that 1.23 million accidents involving deer occur each year, as well as $4 billion in debt. Now knowing these dangers, let's move on to how the time of day can affect this. Nighttime driving at high speeds exponentially increases chances of an accident. 90% of a driver's reaction time depends on their vision. And that being said, the National Safety Institute, a leading safety provider in the U.S. for over 100 years, cites that drivers' depth perception, color recognition, and the peripheral vision is extremely hindered at night. Now you might ask yourself, well, if this is the case, then how come the automobile companies have not done much? And the reason is, we don't know. They really haven't done much. As you can see in the chart, as it gets later into the night, the darkness increases. More people tend to just increase fatalities of injuries. Next, I'll be talking since I've now presented on how nighttime affects your driving, I'll now be presenting on how the actual headlights from other cars can distort our vision. Oncoming headlights, especially high beams, impair drivers and create danger. Important to this fact is that according to Dr. Robert Tamburo, a robotics professor at Carnegie Mellon University, high beams prove to be much too bright. They cannot communicate with other headlights correctly, and they do not they provide nearly inefficient or not even worth anything, practically, in urban areas. This is important because drivers must look to the side of the road, and when they're often blinded by high beams, there's much more chance of risk. And even more scarier to that fact is that, as you might not be able to see in the picture, there's actually a man right staying next to the high beams next to that car. We could be very well going 40 miles an hour and actually strike that man and eventually kill him. Hopefully the points I've presented have increased your awareness and made you realize that a solution needs to be made, if not soon, but if not ever, but really soon. As you've seen throughout my presentation, headlights tend to be projected in the same direction and area. They also prove to be inefficient in how they are directed and how they pick up pedestrians. Also, headlights that are coming towards you are proved as one of the most systematic problems in today's automobile industry. It should be very clear that inefficiencies in headlight and inadequate lighting are a large problem. Since the automobile industry is increasing, accidents will keep increasing as well. Thus, a solution needs to be evident, and I hope it comes before we have to keep saying and holding to just look towards the right side of the road and flash your high beams. Thank you.